This weekend, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series heads to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the first race of the second round of the playoffs, the Bank of America 500. The remaining 12 playoff contenders will be hoping to get the round off to a good start to put them out of danger of elimination after Talladega and Kansas. Circuit overview. Charlotte Motor Speedway is a 1.5-mile-long speedway in North Carolina and is considered the home racetrack of NASCAR. The track is banked at 24 degrees on each of its four corners, with a decrease to 5 degrees on the straights. The circuit hosted its first NASCAR Cup Series race shortly after its opening in 1960. The first race was won by John Lee Johnson after 400 laps and 600 miles. Since then, Hendrick Motorsports has conquered at the track, having taken 19 victories with drivers such as Ken Schrader, Terry Labonte, Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Gordon, Casey Mears, Casey Kane and Jimmy Johnson. Like last weekend's race at Dover, Johnson enters the event as the driver in the field with the most previous wins. The driver of the 48 Chevrolet has won 8 times at Charlotte, 4 times in each event, and is also the defending race winner of the Bank of America 500, having won 12 months ago. Last time out, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series last raced at Charlotte Motor Speedway earlier this season on Memorial Day weekend for the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race of the NASCAR calendar. The race was comprised of 4 stages as opposed to the usual 3 thanks to the sheer duration of the event. Kevin Harvick won the pole in qualifying, but it was Toyota that dominated the first stages of the race. Kyle Busch passed the pole sitter en route to taking the win in Stage 1, with Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin taking the honors in Stages 2 and 3. Credit Jerry Markland. NASCAR via Getty Images. In the final 100-lap stage, the race turned into a fuel mileage mission. Kyle Busch took the lead with 94 laps to go but pitted later on for fuel. Jimmy Johnson, searching for another Charlotte victory, took a gamble on making it to the end on fuel along with a handful of other drivers, but he ran out of gas with just 2 laps remaining. This gave the lead to Austin Dillon, who managed to keep enough distance to Kyle Busch behind whilst also keeping enough gas in the tank to hold on to take his first Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series win, a shock result that took all by surprise, including Dillon and his Richard Childress racing team. Playoffs update. Last week, Kyle Busch charged late in the race at Dover International Speedway to catch race leader Chase Elliott with less than 10 laps remaining. Lap traffic got the better of Elliott, who lost the lead to Busch as they started the final lap of the race. Busch would go on to win the race, his second win of the first 3 playoff races, with a disheartened Elliott advancing through to the next round, but still inconsolable, having lost another shot at his first Cup Series win. Dover was similarly unkind to the first 4 drivers that were eliminated from the playoffs. Thanks to their low scores in the first 3 races, Ryan Newman, Austin Dillon, Casey Kane and Kurt Busch were eliminated from championship contention and will advance no further in the playoffs. This puts the playoff contender count down to 12 drivers. Entering the round of 12, Martin Truex Jr.'s tally of playoff points has him 18 points clear of Kyle Busch in second place and 56 points clear of 12th place Jamie McMurray, meaning that it's going to take a dismal 3 races to see the Furniture Row Racing 78 driver eliminated. Credit Jared C. Tilt. The NASCAR via Getty Images. The bottom 4 drivers in danger as the round begins are Ryan Blaney in 9th place, Chase Elliott in 10th, Matt Kenseth in 11th and Jamie McMurray in 12th. 5 points separate the quartet, with only 2 points between Blaney and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who holds the final safe spot of 8th place in the playoff standings. Of course, with the field relatively close, except for the top 2 or 3 perhaps, a poor finish in this weekend's race could really start the descent of the slippery slope to elimination in 3 races' time, so every one of the 12 drivers will be striving to earn a solid foundation to their second round to avoid problems later on. Potential winners. With Hendrick Motorsports looking to be on the up after a run of decent finishes for Chase Elliott and teammate Jimmy Johnson, don't be surprised if either manages to get to victory lane on Sunday. As mentioned earlier, Hendrick Motorsports are the winningest team at Charlotte Motor Speedway, so if they can find something that enables them to stay ahead of the Toyota drivers, they could be in with a shot. Speaking of the Toyota drivers, once again you can't discount Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch. Charlotte Motor Speedway is the site of Truex Jr.'s utter annihilation of the field in the 2016 Coca-Cola 600. Truex led a scarcely believable 392 laps out of the 400-lap distance and was never even threatened by a rival car. So it's safe to say that the 78 Furniture Row Racing team know how to win in North Carolina. As for Kyle Busch, Charlotte Motor Speedway is one of the rare locations that he hasn't been to victory lane, but that doesn't rule him out of being a threat. Kyle and the 18 Joe Gibbs Racing Team arguably have the best momentum of anybody going into the round of 12, having won the last 2 races in a row. Whilst he hasn't won at Charlotte, he's shown speed on numerous occasions there, with 10 top 5 finishes across both events, including second place in the Coca-Cola 600 back in May after just falling short to Austin Dillon's fuel strategy. It is very possible that Kyle could end up crossing Charlotte off of his short list of tracks he's yet to win at by the end of the weekend. On-track scheduled track action for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series at Charlotte will be televised by Premier Sports, NBCSN and NBC this weekend. First practice and Coors Light pole qualifying will take place on Friday. 2 more practice sessions will follow on Saturday, with the 2017 Bank of America 500 completing the weekend on Sunday.